90 years. That's how long it will be before Caitlin Armstrong is able to get back out and jump on a Schwinn. That is the verdict. That is the sentence that has come down in the past couple of days for her role in the murder of cyclist Anna Mo Wilson, found guilty, of course, to be receiving that verdict. Caitlin Armstrong sentenced to that 90-year prison sentence and fined $10,000 for first-degree murder of professional cyclist Anna Mo Wilson. The jury reached the decision after deliberating several hours following the guilty verdict. The courtroom filled with tension. Caitlin Armstrong received that sentence. Jury's decision, which came a day after finding her guilty in first-degree murder, carries a 90-year prison term and a significant financial penalty. Anna
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Since when is $10,000 a significant financial penalty? I'm like, what?
According to who? I mean, for murder, I would think you'd be like, at the end of the day, she's never going to pay it. She's probably indigent. It's going to take it out of her canteen for the next 90 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how that actually works, but I don't, other than it being a formality on paper, what are you going to do? Anna Mariah Wilson, of course, the promising gravel racer at the top of her game at the time of her death, discovered with multiple gunshot wounds at a friend's home in Austin, Texas on May 11th, 2022. And what appeared to be a targeted homicide. Her tragic death shocked the community, leading to a lengthy trial that, of course, culminated in Armstrong's sentencing. Prosecutors urged the jury to consider the calculated nature of the murder of Armstrong's attempted to evade justice, along with the profound impact of Wilson's murder on her family and friend Caitlin Cash, who found Wilson in her home, dying. State Attorney Guillermo Gonzalez asked the jurors to start with a minimum sentence of 40 years in prison, stating the fact that this was a calculated crime and the defendant's attempt to flee should be taken into account into the sentencing decision. During the two-day sentencing hearing, the court heard very poignant testimonies from members of Wilson's grief-stricken family. Her mother, Karen Wilson, described her daughter as a unique person. That's a neat way of describing it. A unique person who accomplished a lifetime of achievements in 25 years. I guess it's better than saying, like, she's a malignant narcissist. She always has been. And I'm not at all surprised that she did some sort of shit like this. Her brother, Matthew Wilson, expressed the pain of losing his closest confidant. The defense, of course, presented witnesses, including Armstrong's father and sister, but did not make a specific recommendation for the sentence. Armstrong's father, Mike Armstrong, expressed condolences to the Wilson family, acknowledging the severity of their loss. The defense, really kind of pushing that. I got to go back here for a second, because the two-day sentencing hearing, we heard members of Wilson's grief-stricken family say those sort of things. For a moment, I was interpreting it as family members of Caitlin Armstrong talking about what she accomplished in 25 years. So any sort of slight comments that I made there were really meant towards Caitlin Armstrong. I was misreading what was going on in that moment. But yeah, I mean, obviously that woman did accomplish quite a bit in 25 years, without a doubt. Caitlin Armstrong, no, not so much.
Well, she accomplished a lot now.
Is that what we're calling this?
Well, it's significant. I don't know that it's positive, but it's definitely significant.
Yeah. In the week-long trial, prosecutors presented the evidence against Armstrong. There was a lot there: video, cell phone, ballistic DNA. There really wasn't much of a question, I think, of did she do this? Furthermore, prosecutors presented evidence that Armstrong's vehicle was seen near the scene of the crime on the night of the homicide, and her firearm was also used in the murder. Had a lot of things. People are not very smart. They commit these crimes.
No.
Come on.
And her digital footprint was such a big deal here. And, her search history, and that she was like stalking her on Instagram. And that's something I want to point out too, that, you might be awake at 2 a.m. and you're scrolling through somebody's Instagram account. They can track all that. They know if for some reason you do something and they look back at your history, they can see who you were looking at and how far you went into their account.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't hit that you love something on there doesn't mean that they can't find out that you were there.
No, it shows like so-and-so scrolled here, did this or that and all that.
Yeah.
It's like, kind of creepy sometimes because I don't know. I honestly, I post to Instagram, but the only thing I look at are the things that my fiance sends me. It's like usually like recipe videos or like self-improvement type happy things. But it's like, it's rare when I'm like, let me just scroll through this random pack of insanity. I don't know. I'm just, it's not it ain't my jam, if you will. But it is interesting to see all that. When I was playing with it more the other day and kind of looking at some more of the behind the scenes things, I'm like, oh my gosh, you really can see a lot of things on here that I think unless you know it's there, you really would have no idea. So those digital footprints, in many cases, especially one like this, I think are some of the strongest pieces of evidence that exist, even more so, I think, sometimes than DNA or anything of that nature, because it shows you what's going on in someone's mind. We've never had that before.
Yeah, you log into your account, so they know it's you, most likely. And it's your thoughts, your search history. I saw something on Instagram earlier about somebody had posted, "This is my brother's search history. Should I be concerned?" And it was completely frivolous, but it was like, do women fart? And can I bottle a woman's fart? Or maybe I saw it on Shithead Steve. I don't know. But still, it's, your search history. It could be really troubling. You could just be sitting on the toilet scrolling and going, gee, I wonder if my poop should look like this. Well, people could see that. And it's, you've got to be a little bit vigilant about what you're looking up, because you think you're being anonymous. If you ever get called into questioning for something, all that's going to get put out there.
It'd be very interesting if you were to take your entire search history and ask something like, I know ChatGPT won't diagnose anything. I've tried that.
I know, I have too.
But if you were to say, play the role of a doctor, if you were to guess, does this person have a personality disorder of some sort, or what might be going on with this person's mind based on their search history, I think we'd learn a lot about people. I think we would learn far more about actual disorders, about personality disorders and such, far more accurately by running search history against something like that with that sort of vast knowledge than any doctor gets in a 10, 15-minute visit. And then the very individual who may have the disorder is the one who's supposed to try and communicate what's wrong. Those are usually the last people that are going to do it accurately. But I think that would be very, very telling, and probably something we can look forward to next year on Google.
Want to listen ad-free? Want advanced access to all of our interviews before anyone else?
Become a True Crime Today Premium Plus subscriber on Apple Podcasts.
You get every episode commercial-free,
so you can binge on true crime
until you can binge no more.
Search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts now, or go to our podcast page and sign up now.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast next.